This is Until You Walk the Path You Don't Know Where It Goes. Happy Friday, everybody. I'm Theresa Chaze, your host. And today I want to say I'm very proud of our country. The last couple of days we've been acting like grown-ups, and I think that is totally amazing. And I am proud of us all. So today we've got a special show, again, to help veterans. Joseph Corsanova, I just slaughtered his name. I'm so sorry. He is an amazing man who's working to help our veterans. And his program, Welcome Home Resume, is helping veterans transition from military to civilian life by helping them find jobs and which will, get them what they need. Joseph, I apologize. How do you pronounce your last name?
It's Corsino. Just think of the gambling, and it comes right to mind.
Okay. Yes, but your program is not a gamble. It's what
not
you're
at all.
doing is amazing because this is something that you saw the need and you stepped up. Could you explain why Welcome Home Resumes was created?
Sure. Well, first, thank you for the opportunity to have this conversation with you and be heard by your viewers. It's important that we let the men and women of the military out there know that we exist and we're here for them. So Welcome Home Resumes originally started in 2010. It was an idea. When I retired, I was living in South Beach down in Miami, and I used to go into the city taking a road that we call down here the Julia Tuttle Causeway, and I noticed on the side of the road there was this group of men that used to stand there, and one day out of curiosity I just pulled over to see what was going on. When I stopped, I think they thought that I was a reporter looking for a cheap story, so they kind of blew me off. And as I got to talk to them a little bit and got them to open up a little bit, I found out that they were veterans, and that was a real sore spot for me, to think that the men and women who have defended this country and provided me the blanket of freedom that I enjoy every day were living under a bridge. So that really is what sparked me to make something happen in a positive way for them. So it basically took shape just utilizing common sense. I mean, the bottom line is these men and women are living on the street because they don't have a house or an apartment, and they don't have that because they don't have any money. Hence, there's a problem. So I consider myself to be a somewhat intelligent person, and I went home that night and I couldn't sleep. Things are just going through my head, 90 to nothing, trying to understand why this is the way it is. So I took the following year was invested into just researching veteran unemployment and why this issue exists. And we spoke with hundreds of hiring managers, recruiters. We've spoken to thousands and thousands of veterans to try and understand what is going on with these veterans and why we're not able to lower the unemployment rate at any dramatic level. And a lot of what we found was just pure frustration on both the sides of corporate America and the sides of the veteran. I mean, these men and women, in a lot of cases, enter the military right out of high school, right out of college. They don't have any civilian experience. They go in, they do their 8 years, they come out, and it's like a shock to their system. They're not prepared for it.
Why is it so hard to transfer or translate military experience into civilian life?
Well, it's you have to understand where they're coming from. They're doing things in a military manner, such as telecommunications on a different level. They're driving tanks. They're shooting guns. They're in infantry. They're doing jobs that the normal civilian does not do.
Right.
So what you have to understand is, how do you translate the fact that I was standing in a forward position, holding a rifle, aiming at somebody. how do you translate that? How do you translate I drove a tank or I did this? So that's where a lot of them are challenged. The deeper picture to that, though, is getting them to open up and really stop and think about what it is they did on a day-to-day basis. Now, sure, infantry and other forward positions like that, that's a little bit more of a challenge. But when you get these men and women to sit down and relax and talk, you find out a lot more about their day-to-day, and it becomes a little easier to do that translation. A lot of people want to, they want to just assume, I did this and I did that. Well, okay, but, look, if you were in with a group of people and, you were in charge. Well, hey, we can add management to that. You can handle so many people. You're a leader. The key to it all is just taking a step back, relaxing, and getting them to be comfortable so that they open up and talk and tell you more about what it is that they did. And unfortunately, what we're finding with a lot of the men and women that come to our program is nobody's really listening to them. And that's a real challenge, because if you don't listen to the people who have been there, you in the military, you can't assume. You can't just sit here and go, oh, I know what you did. You don't. Until you've walked in their shoes and done what they've done, you cannot relate. And again, that's where a lot of the frustration comes from, is that a lot of the veterans that we're talking with and we're dealing with just feel like nobody on the outside is really, truly listening to them.
Well, even those who were on the front lines, they just didn't go around shooting people. There was a lot of interaction, not only with their fellow personnel, but with the people who lived in if they were in country, with the natives of the country. A lot of them did volunteer work where they helped build schools. They taught on different levels, whether it be English or were the liaison between the military and civilians, or between civilians and the contractors. They did more than just walk around with a gun in their hands.
Exactly.
There were supply officers in the field who made sure the supplies got where they needed, the requisitioning and the disbursement. And there is so much more involved than just shooting.
Well, here's a for instance, and I absolutely agree with what you're saying. We had brought when we, I want to say it's probably been about 2 years now, we had a Marine who came to us through the VA up in Palm Beach, Florida. And we were actually driving in a car on our way up to Atlanta, Georgia for a veterans event that we were attending up there to help veterans near Fort Gordon. And so part of our interactive program is recording audio responses to some job interview questions, some common questions. So we had pulled off and met this gentleman in a gas station parking lot because he was so enthused about getting into our program. He understood what we did. He saw some samples that we had done and some other resumes that we had done. So he's like, please, I want to get this done. So we said, look, we're going right through Palm Beach on our way to Georgia. We can meet you somewhere and actually do the recordings. So we met the gentleman literally in the parking lot of a Shell gas station. And, we started talking to him. And the guy's comment to us, it broke my heart. This is a Marine that went and fought for my freedom, and he makes a comment to me that I don't know anything. I don't have any skills, and I was floored. I was like, yeah, you do, But this is how a lot of them, a lot of the veterans coming out feel, because they come from a highly structured environment. Okay, they wake up in the morning and they're told what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. And then they come into the civilian world, and there's nothing but a lack of structure here.
Right.
And there's no support system, and a lot of them are struggling with that, and it gets them to a point where they feel like they don't know anything. I can't do this. I don't know what's going on. And that's what the Welcome Home group does. Welcome Home Resumes is we get them to a point where they understand that, yeah, they do have value. Yes, they do have skills. And we work with them to showcase them and bring them to a level where they have the utmost confidence in themselves again. Because
right.
that's the key. If you can't get them to feel good about themselves, it's going to be that much harder to get them to be successful. So that's one of the reasons our program works so well.
So you deal with the whole person instead of just do slam, bam, thank you, sir, or ma'am, here's your resume, now go away. You deal with the whole person.
Exactly. Is there any other way? I mean, it's got to be personal. I mean, it has to be personal. If you can't go and spend, the time needed to work with these men and women to give them what they need, positive reinforcement, confidence, and get to know them on a level which makes it personal, then you're not doing anybody any good. And I know that's a very bold statement, and that might upset some people. But you know what? I've been doing this for 4 years, and I don't think I have anybody that's really said anything negative about my organization from that perspective, because they understand what it is that we're doing. We are here for them. We don't, we've taken money off the table. Our program is completely 100% free, not only to the veteran, but any member of their immediate family. So it's not about the money. It's about getting these men and women to be successful and getting them where they need to go. And how we do that is we take it to a very personal level. We get involved in their lives, tell us what's going on, make us understand so that we can help you, break it down for us. I mean, our career coaches are available to our veterans 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. So, we're available when they need them.
The only way you could do that kind of level is one-on-one. And, tailor it to the individual.
Well, exactly. I mean, our career coaches work with no more than 2 veterans at a time, but they are on an individual basis. We're not trying to be the biggest. We are, in my mind, in the mind of the veterans that have come through my program, we are the best. And we are the best because of the fact that we have made it a very personal program. We have taken it to a whole new level. The men and women that come through our program, I've got emails upon emails upon emails. I got an email the other day from a gentleman who got started in my program. The day he got started, I got an email. Joe, you may be a little premature, but I got to tell you, I'm so impressed with the way your program runs. It's so beyond everything else that I've experienced. I mean, that's a common email that me and the other founder and our staff get, our board of directors, because we do care. And they sense that from the minute they come into our program. They're not a number. They're not a statistic. They're a human being who's done something very, very near and dear to our hearts. And the only way that we feel we can get them to be successful is to get them thinking they're successful beforehand. Okay. And we make them – go ahead.
How do you find – well, I was going to ask you, how do you find your career coaches? Because, that they would have to be very knowledgeable and have a really good interview skills, so that they could find the message behind the words. So
sure. Well, we have a fairly substantial social media presence. We have strategic partners located throughout the country. So, we're always talking, we're always networking and putting the word out there. But the career coaches that we have on staff now, like I said, they're all 100% unpaid volunteers. So they have jobs during the day. They're here because they're interested in helping these men and women succeed as well. The current coaches that we have are all HR professionals. They're all currently working in either human resources or recruiting. They have years and years. I believe every one of my career coaches at this point has over 10 years in HR. They know the industry. They know what the companies are looking for. They understand the methods used by hiring companies and recruiters, and they use that to assist these men and women get a better idea of what they're going to be up against when they go out there and face a job interview. A lot of our clients, a lot of our veterans are coming to us right from the military. They've gone into the Corps right from high school or right from college, so they don't have any civilian experience. So these career coaches, they kind of get in tune with what they've been through and work with them so that they can get them prepared. Because the bottom line is, a lot of people out there looking for work right now, they're good people, they're just not prepared. And
right.
And that's what our team does. Is we're not like you said, we're not one of these in and out quickie kind of organizations. We're very structured in how we do things, and our goal is to get them to be prepared so that when they go on a job interview, the person that's sitting on the other side of the table from them sees that and understands that this person's a professional. He's ready to be interviewed. He's ready to go to work.
What companies have you worked with?
We have, let me actually go over here because I can give you a better idea. We work with companies like Armac. We work with Aquid Biotech, Detroit Diesel, Pride Staff, Pac Mail, Zavello, First Financial Security. So our Loomis, our corporate partners are vast. We have Data Logic, Spirit Airlines. So we have all sorts of different types of companies that we work with on and with all different types of positions. So it doesn't matter if, you're a diesel mechanic or a communications expert or a colonel. We work with all different types of companies so that whoever comes to us has an opportunity and has the ability to be successful.
Could you share a couple of success stories? Because I remember you talking about this gentleman who had been unemployed for a very long time, and he went through your program, and he found a position. He was hired, and within a few days, he was actually offered a better paying position.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a fairly recent success story for us, and it's one that's very near and dear to my heart because it is a local veteran here in South Florida. We were contacted by a veteran who had gone through some of the other more popular veteran programs and was just struggling. Nobody could seem to get him where he needed to go. So he was given our number and asked if they could share his information with us, and he absolutely said yes. He came to us and contacted us. We did our roll call with him and accepted him into our program. After he was accepted into our program, it came to came to us that he was homeless. So it really took the experience to a whole new level. Here we have a veteran who did time serving his country, and now he's living on the street. So I said to my team that I want to make this a priority. This gentleman, because at the time he came into us, he was the only homeless veteran we had in that program. So I brought this to my team's attention, and my team stepped up. We brought him into the program. We got him into the resume, got him into the career coach. They got his resume developed. This gentleman met us literally the next day at the library because he didn't have internet access, evidently, because he was homeless. So he met our team at the library. They sat with him for a couple of hours, got his resume to the point where they could start working on it. We brought him some dress clothes so we could take a picture. We did his audio. We did everything. This man was phenomenal in the way that he was motivated. He saw he saw the position he was in, and he was determined to do something about it, and was focused on getting himself in a better position in life. We brought him into the program. He got his resume done, got his resume knowledge class completed, went through the job interview training. We found out that this gentleman had a master's degree. So we focused on what it was he wanted to do and the industry he wanted to be in and where he wanted to do that. All the time he was going through our program, we were job matching on the back end so that by the time he got done with the program, the day he completed the program, we had a job interview lined up for him. I physically, myself, picked up this veteran in my car and drove him about half an hour away to a job interview. He got the job that day. So the day he came through our program, he was hired. He went to work. It was about a week or two. We had presented him to a couple of companies. This second company had sent him a job offer, which was, I want to say probably, I'm going to say without, I don't want to give an exact salary, but let's just say it's about 5 times the salary.
Yeah.
Okay. Last week, he flew out, they flew him out to Dallas. He spent a week in Dallas in training. He started the job this past Monday. That's awesome. I went and picked him up. Well, let me tell you what happened yesterday. Yesterday at 6:00, I picked him up from the homeless shelter as he walked out for the last time, and I personally helped him move into his new apartment on his own. No more homeless shelter, fully employed with a company car.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So we have several success stories similar to that, where men and women who have just, part of being in our program, Theresa, is, we tell the veterans we're putting you back in the military. And they're like, what? And I say, well, because coming into my program, it's going to be like going through boot camp again. Look, you're going to be responsible. You have to take personal responsibility for where you are, and going forward, you have to take responsibility for your job search. We will get you where you need to go, but you have to be willing to do the things that are uncomfortable. You have to be willing to do the things that nobody else says. We will get you there. You have to put your faith and your trust into us that we can get you there. Do what we ask you to do, and we will get you there. And more times than not, we accomplish that because of the effort that the veteran puts in. It's like anything else. If you want to get to a different place, you got to get off the normal road, go down a different path. And that's what we do. We take them down a different path, and it works very well.
That is amazing. So we're coming down to, the half hour went by fast. We're to our shameless self-promotion.
Okay, good. Well, I like that part.
Okay. How can people
I like that part.
How can companies who are looking for employees reach you? How can people who are looking for jobs reach you?
It's very simple. Again, we make it very easy. TheWelcomeHomeGroup.org is our website. We have a contact us page there. Whether you're a veteran who needs help, if you're a company who wants to hire veterans, if you're somebody who would like to volunteer with us, that's the best way to get a hold of them. That form comes right into our program, and we're an organization just so to give you a quick little background on us, we don't take any government funding, okay? So we're privately funded. So we don't have the typical rules and regulations that everybody else has to do. We are a 501c3 nonprofit, so we do have a donate to us page on our website where people who are interested in helping us do what we do can make a small donation on there. But we are a get it done kind of a company. We're not one that's going to get you all tied up in paperwork and all this other stuff. You come into our organization and you ask me for help, you're going to get a call that day. Okay, so if you're a veteran and need help, you reach out to us, and I'm actually going to give you my cell phone number right here live on the air. So anybody who needs anything can reach out to me personally, and we'll get them involved in the program. Okay, my phone number, my phone number that goes right on my personal cell phone is 954-663-9586. Okay, that is my number. If somebody needs to reach me, that's how they can reach me. We also have, like I said, our contact us page on our website. Okay, my office number is 954-860-6924. You need help, you call us. We will call you that day. If you email me at 8 o'clock at night, that means you're awake and on the computer. I'm going to call you at 8 o'clock at night.
Okay. You've got graduates that are coming through the program right now. What kind of jobs will they be looking for? Who do you have available?
Well, what kind of jobs do we have available?
No. What kind?
Is that what you're asking me, or
okay?
or you asking?
you've got graduates coming out of the program right now that are looking for
Mm-hmm.
jobs.
Sure.
What kind of jobs are they looking for?
Oh, we've got everything. I mean, we've got people come through with telecommunications, computer, IT, a lot of medical. Let me see. We got some people coming through transportation and cargo. I would say right now the two biggest industries that we have veterans prepared to go into are healthcare and data computers.
Okay.
Absolutely, IT. Absolutely. So if you're an organization who's looking to hire veterans, you can reach out to us through our website. We have a corporate outreach division, and the gentleman who has that up, his name is Steven Smiler. He can reach out and get you started in the program. Again, our program is no cost to the veterans. It's also no cost to corporate America. So if you've got budgets that you need to be aware of, doesn't apply to us. We don't want your money. We want to help veterans we want to get veterans back to work and whatever we need to do that. That's our focus.
Joseph, thank you. Your program is making a difference, and that is amazing.
Thank you.
And that's today's show. If you're a veteran who needs help, call Joseph or a company that is looking to hire veterans. Call Joseph at 954-663-9586.